One sentence, and the entire tennis world took notice. That sentence was, now or never. This wasn't a fan's reaction or a commentator's remark. It came from the one person who has trained this player since she was 13 years old. And this wasn't said on any ordinary day. It came just as Alexandra Eala stood one step away from the biggest match of her career, with a place in the Washington Open quarterfinal already secured. Why did the coach feel the need to say this? The answer is coming next, straight from his own words. But first, it's important to know exactly who this coach is. His name is Joan Bosch. He has coached Alexandra Eala since she was 13 years old, when she joined the Rafa Nadal Academy. Every result, every win, every breakthrough on the WTA Tour has happened with him by her side. He isn't a coach who arrived, after recent success, looking to attach himself to it. He has been present through every stage of her development as a player, long before her name became widely known on tour, and long before this current run of results in Washington. He gave this interview to Diane Castellano, right after Eala defeated Leylah Fernandez to reach the quarterfinal, with her next match scheduled against Elina Svitolina in Washington. The coach said, "Yes, I'm super happy. She's doing well. It's just the start of the hard season, the U.S. season. So, it's a good start." That opening line placed the win inside a much larger picture. He wasn't treating this result as a standalone achievement, but as one part of a longer hard-court season still ahead, with several tournaments yet to come before the season's biggest events. But that was just the opening line. The real story was still to come. The coach then broke down the Fernandez match set by set, with specific detail. About the first set, he said, against Leylah, it was opposite. The first set was super good. I think she played one of the best first sets. Leylah did some mistakes that she wouldn't maybe normally do. He credited Eala's execution during that set, while also acknowledging the role of her opponent's errors. A detailed, balanced read rather than simple praise. This is the kind of assessment that comes from someone tracking the match closely, point by point, rather than offering a generic summary after the fact. But something changed in the second set. Eala had built a lead to 5-1, and then that lead began to slip away. The coach didn't avoid this moment. He addressed it directly. In the second set, when you have it, you have to keep it. And for that, we need more matches. This was an honest admission, but the reasoning behind it revealed something bigger. That statement pointed to one specific factor, a lack of match experience in high-pressure situations, not a lack of ability. Every match, win or lose, was described as part of building that experience. In this view, each contest, whether it ends in a dominant win or a difficult recovery, contributes to a longer process of preparing for exactly these kinds of moments in the future. A close set that slips away is treated the same way as a comfortable straight sets win. Both add to the same body of competitive experience. The next question put to the coach was whether the team is carefully managing Eala's energy, given such a demanding stretch of tournaments still ahead this summer. His answer was direct. Reserving the energy? No, we reserve energy maybe the day before. Okay, in practice we are more chill, but not in points. In points we cannot lose our identity and our main thing, that is to go fully committed, all out. In other words, practice sessions stay relaxed, but every single point during an actual match is played at full intensity, without exception. There is no scaling back once a match begins, regardless of the scoreline or how far the tournament has already progressed. The only reduction in intensity, according to the coach, happens the day before a match, not during competitive play itself. This philosophy has a clear origin, and it comes with a real risk. This approach traces directly back to the training culture of the Rafa Nadal Academy, where full commitment to every point is treated as a fixed competitive identity, not an adjustable strategy depending on circumstances. This is described as the same mentality associated with Rafael Nadal's own career, where total effort on each point functioned as a non-negotiable standard rather than a situational choice. But that identity comes with a cost. Leylah Fernandez played a 3-set match against Zhang and had less than 24 hours to recover before facing Eala in the very next round. An all-out approach applied across matches with such limited recovery time can increase the risk of physical fatigue as a tournament progresses, particularly during a compressed schedule with back-to-back matches and minimal rest days built in between rounds. At the same time, that same full commitment approach is directly connected to the outcome against Fernandez. Eala trailed 5-1 in the second set before completing the comeback, a result that may not have occurred under a more conservative approach built around protecting energy for later rounds. The same intensity that carries fatigue risk across a tournament is also the specific factor tied to that particular recovery. If you want more fact-based breakdowns like this, the real story behind every major match, straight from the players and coaches involved, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. The coach then made one final statement, and it explains everything that came before it. He closed by saying, "Oh, she's doing well. She has a good moment to keep going to play more matches to win her next match. I mean, she's in the moment to enjoy tennis now or never, and she's in her best moment, her best ranking. So, we have no problems now." That phrase, now or never, was tied specifically to Eala's current ranking and form, framing this stretch of the season as a defined window of opportunity rather than routine encouragement. The coach connected this phrase directly to her being at her best ranking to date, alongside the momentum built through this run of matches. But after hearing this from her coach, what was Eala's own response? That part matters just as much. Eala addressed this partnership in her own words. She said, "It's super important that Joan Bosch, who is here with me, is my trusted person. He helps me feel like I'm not alone on the court. I trust him a lot, as well as my team at home, UK and Sandro." This statement identified Bosch specifically as her designated trusted figure during matches. Not just a technical coach, but a central part of her on-court support system during high-pressure moments throughout this run. She named him specifically alongside the rest of her team based outside the tournament, as the people she relies on through this stretch of competition. During the comeback against Fernandez, the coach's instructions were reportedly overheard from courtside, at the exact stretch where Eala began directing her shots into the corners of the court. That tactical shift coincided directly with the turning point of the match, as the 5-1 deficit was overturned and a third set was avoided entirely. Whatever specific guidance was given in that moment lined up directly with the adjustment that followed on court, and that adjustment is what changed the direction of the set. Taken together, this interview outlined 3 specific elements of the partnership: an evaluation process that credits both player performance and opponent error without exaggeration, a stated policy of full commitment in points regardless of physical cost, applied only during matches and not in practice, and a direct framing of this stretch of the season at her current ranking as a limited window worth capitalizing on. None of these elements stand alone. The honest post-match evaluation feeds directly into the energy policy, and the energy policy feeds directly into how that specific window of opportunity gets used on court. Each piece of the interview connects to the next, building a single, consistent account of how this coaching partnership currently operates. The next test of this approach comes against Svitolina in the quarterfinal, in a tournament stretch her coach has already described in exactly those terms. A stretch he has directly called her best moment, at her best ranking, in a now or never window that, according to him, leaves no room to hold anything back. Does this all-out mentality push Eala's results forward from here, or does it increase the risk across a demanding schedule? Share your view in the comments.